Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we are discussing a lovely example of the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Sky-Dweller. This is the reference 326934, 42 millimeters in yellow gold. It is an extravagant GMT and annual calendar. So the watch is 42 millimeters in diameter, 13.9 millimeters thick. It is 50 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and if you include the end links of the bracelet, it is 51.8 millimeters across the wrist with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now we will pop it open so you can see how it fits on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and it fits quite nicely. It is a massive thing on full yellow gold bracelet, but it is nicely counterweighted as there's a lot of weight underneath the wrist and a lot of weight on top of the wrist. So if you do like to wear it loose, it's not going to hula hoop or move around. It is thinner than you might suspect. As you can see, there's probably going to be no trouble fitting underneath this cuff. I would recommend this for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference, probably not any smaller than that, just because it is very large and very heavy, though it's not too broad across the wrist, nor is it as thick as you might think. Taking a quick look at the bracelet, it is of course the Oyster design, 3 links, solid end links, solid center links, polished outer faces, satin shoulders, a little bit of taper, conforming end link profile, polished centers, and removable links on both sides fixed in place by screws. The clasp is entirely finished, so finished inside, finished outside. There's a lift lock system with a beak and a hook, and you can see those two latch. Now it's shut. Taking a quick look at the Easy Link system, it is a tool-free 5 millimeter adjustment, the equivalent of adding or removing one of these sizable links. You can also see there are several divots drilled inside the clasp, so you can use your strap tool to move the spring bar and change the anchoring point. So that's a third way to size this bracelet. You can see this example is extraordinarily fresh as it still has some of the original packing stickers. Well, the old owner didn't enjoy it, but you'll get that much better a watch as a result. Now, screw down crown here, you can see it is a twin lock in gold. You know that because it has 2 dots. The watch is 100 meters water resistant, and you can see it features a fluted bezel. Fluted bezels, traditionally at Rolex, meant gold. Now they can mean gold or platinum. The dial is the 2017 model, which means fully luminescent indices, and it is a far more legible watch in the dark than it was before the 2017 model year. So you have that Rolex Chromolite blue lume, that is their own proprietary luminescent material. The dial is black lacquer. The hands, the crown, and the indices are 18 karat yellow gold. Cyclops eye magnifier. You have a date. You also have a month. You can see there are these little apertures outboard of the hours, and so 12 hours correspond to 12 months. So you have a date and you have a month. That's how the annual calendar system works. It only needs to be adjusted once every year during the jump from February to March. So you have this little red section, and that section jumps from aperture to aperture as you advance the calendar. Quick note, the bezel is part of the movement. It's called a ring command system. So in the first position, the crown winds. In the second position, the crown does nothing if the bezel's all the way clockwise. 1 click counterclockwise. Now I can drive the date forward or backwards. Now if you look at that little red section, you could see it is jumping back and forth as I move between months. Now, this is bidirectionally settable, no damage. It's one of the few complex calendar systems that can be set in both directions. Note the watch is still ticking though. Turn the bezel 1 more click counterclockwise. Now I can adjust the local hour time, and you can see I can drive the date forward here, but not backwards. The watch is still ticking. It is not hacked. 1 more click counterclockwise. Now stop seconds is activated and everything moves in sync. You can see that 24-hour ring at the center. What you do is you set that independent time zone first. So for example, you set it at 1400, just like that. 1 click clockwise, now I can set my local time. That's how you set this watch. So inside the case, you have a movement that has 24 and 12-hour independent time zones, an annual calendar, bidirectionally settable, stop seconds, bidirectional automatic winding, a 70-hour power reserve. It uses a rotor bearing rather than a jeweled staff for greater shock tolerance. For the same purpose, it has a full balance bridge and a free-sprung index. It has a handmade overcoil hairspring to better help shepherd it through the chronometer testing, and it is a certified chronometer. But that overcoil is also made of blue oxidized niobium zirconium, so it is highly anti-magnetic. Rolex calls that parachrome blue. It uses uses Paraflex, which is Rolex's own shock protection system, and the movement features 40 pivot jewels. It is one of the most complex movements ever designed by Rolex, but it is also robust, meaning it is both tough and sophisticated, much like Rolex itself. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.